upset that I moved the Minnesota Vikings down to 9th in my week's NFL power rankings. She is mad because she's like, man, Minnesota Vikings were 2nd last week and they lose to the Lions, and then all of a sudden they're 9th. What is going on here? What is going on here, guys, is the Detroit Lion hangover. Fresh off of a 2-point loss to the Detroit Lions in week 7. Every team that has lost to the Detroit Lions the following week has lost the next game. So the Minnesota Vikings do play the LA Rams at LA on Thursday Night Football this week. So, guys, we got to ask the question, is it going to be fact or crap that the Lion hangover will affect the Minnesota Vikings? So with that being said, guys, the people that do not know what the Lion hangover is, so far every team that has played the Detroit Lions this year and have lost, and they've lost to the Detroit Lions, have lost the following week. So you play the Lions, you lose the following week. Now, the Cowboys have not played since their beatdown by the Detroit Lions, but we'll see Sunday night if that continues to take effect. Also, on the bright side, this is a division loss, which even hurts even worse. You had a 10-point lead over the Lions. You let them score 21, 28 points unanswered, and it just sucks. Also, it's a short work week. You go playing from Sunday afternoon to Thursday night, plus you have to travel, so that takes another day or two out of your preparation. It just sucks. And history says that on Thursday night games, road teams lose 68% of the time. However, yes, there is a however. So far this season, road teams are 4-2 on the road on Thursday Night Football, not counting the Kansas City Chiefs versus Ravens games because that's not really a true Thursday night game. It's opening week. Now, there's also frustration for the Minnesota Vikings. There's some frustration on the Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson has come out in the media and saying that he is frustrated that he hasn't got 100 yards since week 2. He is frustrated that he's only getting 80 and 90 yards. That's not enough. When you look at JJ's stats, last week versus the Lions, 7 catches on 8 targets, 81 yards. Versus the Jets, 6 catches on 14 targets for 92 yards. Versus the Packers, 6 catches for 6 catches on 8 targets for 85 yards. Versus the Texans, 6 catches, 8 targets, 81 yards. Versus the 49ers, 4 catches on 7 targets for 133 yards. Versus the Giants, opening week, 4 catches on 6 targets for 59 yards. So when we look at the Minnesota Vikings playing Thursday night game versus the LA Rams at LA, will the Lion hangover be a thing? Are the Vikings going to lose? And it's a fact. It is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. It is a fact that the Minnesota Vikings are going to lose on Thursday Night Football to the LA Rams. It actually would not shock me one bit if the Vikings lose 3 games in a row. Rams this week, and then the Colts on the following night on Sunday Night Football, which the game got flexed. The Minnesota Vikings, guys, remind me a lot of the Philadelphia Eagles of last season. They have a lot of flaws. They have a lot of holes in their game, but winning has covered up most of those. The Vikings are careless with the ball, and Sam Darnold is probably going to start targeting JJ a hell of a lot more just to keep him happy. Make sure he gets those 100 yards. And that will ultimately be the downfall of the Minnesota Vikings. Because what has the Minnesota Vikings done? Sam Darnold done great so far this season. Distribute the ball very, very well. Evenly catches. Look at JJ. 8 targets, 14 targets, 8 targets, 8 targets, 7 targets, 6 targets. Distributing the ball extremely well. The Minnesota Vikings, y'all had a good run. 5-0. It's nice. It's nice. But everything good comes to an end. Hopefully, you guys can bounce back. Hopefully, you guys can, defeat this Lion hangover. Hopefully, you guys can bounce back and beat the LA Rams and be 6-1. But guys, fact or crap, is the Lion hangover going to affect the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday Night Football? Let's jump over into the chat here. Casey says, I feel you have the Bills too high on your power rankings. Interesting. Okay. Laura says, you are still wrong. They don't belong at 9th, maybe 5th. And she says, crap, 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 crap. They are going to beat the Rams. Slow it down, baby. John says, so lucky we don't play you guys, as in KC would be a multiple week hangover. Okay, John's a Lions fan, guys. Don't get it twisted. James Frank says, nah, the Vikings are legit. They are legit when they don't turn the ball over, when they stop being selfish, when they stop, can play a complete game. They did not play a complete game versus the Detroit Lions. They are starting to be selfish. JJ, Jet, I want the ball, I want 100 yards. Well, break a tackle. Catch the ball. I don't know. But John says, slow it down, baby. Vikings are going to beat the Hangover, and they're going to beat the Rams. So he's saying quack, crack, crap, crap. Laura says, question though, would you put KC there if you lose one? It's all about how you lose. It's all about how you play. It is all about how you react after that loss. So the Kansas City Chiefs are a great team. There's not a lot of individuals out there. The reason why I ultimately did drop the Vikings so low in the power rankings from 2 to 9, which is the biggest dropper of the week, is the fact that JJ come out and said this. I want the 100 yards. That tells me in the back of my head, he's not happy. He's not happy that he hasn't had a 100-yard receiving since week 2. That tells me in the back of, he's probably in San Bernardino's here. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Oh, by the way, TJ Hawkinson is back this week as well. So who are you going to take targets from, right? That's what's been so great about the Vikings is you don't know where the attack's coming from. Now you know, take out JJ, make him unhappy like the old AJ. No, who was it? Who was with the? I think it was AJ Brown with the Eagles last year, right? They were up 21 points, and AJ Brown had like 2 targets. He's like, give me the ball, right? All of a sudden, Jalen Hurts threw him like eight straight passes. Beginning of the downfall. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but I think it does. Juna says, crap. Minnesota will bounce back strong. Okay. I hope so. I hope for the Minnesota Vikings fans, I hope you guys are right. I hope you guys do bounce back strong. Laura says, JJ can be mad all he wants. Everyone knows his game. Coaches need to change it up. Okay. James Frank says, but how about the other receivers are doing? Are they eating? He shouldn't care if Donald is sharing the love. Let's look at the stats for the other receivers. I did not look at the other stats for the receivers, but let's look at the stats. Let's pull it up. Let's go to NFL.co, a page that I run that has all the APIs and stats over there as well. So when I look on receiving, JJ is a leading receiver on the team. JJ has 33 receptions on 51 targets this season, 531 yards. Next one up is Jalen Naylor, 12 receptions for 16 yards, 213 yards receiving. This is yardage ranked, right? Next up is Jordan Addison, 12 catches on 20 targets for 209. Aaron Jones, 20 catches on 23 targets for 190 yards. Josh Oliver, 5 catches for 6 on 6 targets for 42 yards. So JJ's already getting a bulk of the receptions in it. Anyways, he has doubled the next person closest to him, receiving wise. So you have 12 from Jordan Addison, 12 from Naylor, and then 33 from Jet. How much more love do you want? I don't get it. And Laura says, we're not friends no more. James like, oh, you done pissed off Laura. Hey, I just call it how I see it. I call it how I see it. But James says, I will say the Vikings will win it. Stop sucking up. Guys, stop sucking up to Laura. I feel that is what you guys are doing. You guys are sucking up to Laura. You're like, it's okay, Laura. Your Vikings are going to suck now. It's okay. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down. James Frank says, JJ is just stat chasing. It seems that way. John says, too bad I didn't take you up on that tattoo. You be sitting there with your nice lion tattoo. Yeah, crap. Derek says, crap, that game against Detroit is just a kick away. And you see, Derek, I see that game differently. When I look at the Detroit Lions game versus Minnesota Vikings, I seen the Minnesota Vikings jump out to a 10-point lead. But I never saw the Detroit Lions quiver. I never saw the Detroit Lions back down. I never saw their expression change, right? The only thing that I have concerns about the Detroit Lions from that game is going for it on, 4th and 2 from your 30-yard line on the first drive of the game. Why are you running a fake punt? That is stupid. But once the Detroit Lions scored those 2 touchdowns, boom, boom, real quick, you start to see the Minnesota Vikings sideline kind of get a little uneasy. You saw them kind of like, crap, here we go again, right? And then another one. They're like, oh, crap, they were shell-shocked. What's going on? They did not rebound from that very well. And Laura says, Vikings going to win. Just watch it. We will be watching it. We will be watching right here on our Discord. You guys can join us as well to watch it. Kaylee says, I'm just saying fact to irritate my mama. Facts, baby. Facts. Say it, Kaylee. Say it. 9th. Low. Did you lose money last week? I didn't lose no money last week. I picked the Detroit Lions to win. John says, no, don't do that. Meaning to get tattooed. And James Drake says, that's because the Troys ain't scared of nothing, baby. They are scared of something. They're scared of losing to the Dallas Cowboys again. It's simple as that. JDT93 says, all those cornerbacks the Detroit Lions signed and drafted, but they still can't really stop the pass. Darnold plays sloppy and was missing throws. Exactly. That. Honestly, Sam Darnold has been kind of playing sloppy all season long, to be honest. If you really sit there and watch the games, he's been kind of careless with the ball. Now, JDT, winning cures all. Winning covers all that up. But when you lose, that little bit of cut you had starts bleeding a lot. When it starts bleeding a lot, you're like, oh, that's really, really bad. Right? So it is like when you first, say you're out there hammering, right, and you hit your thumb with the hammer, like, oh, that sucks. But then you start doing it some more, and then all of a sudden it's like poof, 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 poof. Oh shit, that hurts. Yeah. Kaylee says, once the Vikings lose, they continue to lose. It's a tradition. Kaylee is, put those gats away, Kaylee. She says, Vikings just can't lose just one game and move on. They got to lose 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those things in a row. They just can't lose one. They got to keep on keeping on. But guys, factor crap. Will the Lion Hangover continue its curse moving forward? Speaking of the